All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Bowling with WB show. I am your co-host, Bobby Hebetler. That is Blaine Hunt. And today we got a very, very special guest, the one and only Justin Bohn. Justin, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Doing all right tonight?
So we just came off back-to-back shows, or last show. This is our second one of the day.
All right.
So just tell us like a little bit about yourself. Obviously, you're the son of a legend, one only Parker. So tell us about like how you started bowling. Obviously, it runs in the family, but
Yeah, I mean it really does. Obviously, Dad's been bowling his whole life. Mom's been bowling her whole life, and we naturally just grew up in a bowling center. Me and my brother and my sister. Me and Brandon been bowling pretty much as long as we could walk. Sydney only picked it up about 5 or 6 years ago, but just been a huge bowling family our entire lives. I'm out here at school at Wichita State University. Brandon's a senior, Sydney's a sophomore, and it's one big happy bowling family, as we like to call it. So
so
I'm sorry, I lost the agenda.
all right. I'll take this one and then next one
Go
you
ahead,
got.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, so as you said, like the family, like the legacy, I'd like to call it. Has there been any pressure like to take after your dad or anything like that, or was it just something that you just grew up doing? You just part of the program.
yeah, I think it just kind of became a part of the program. I've been doing it like my whole life, and I mean, when people ask me like, "What's it like being Parker Bowen's kid?" I don't really have an answer for them specifically
That's cool to me.
because it's all I know, right? So like I'm like how you wouldn't know what it's like to be the son of LeBron James. I wouldn't know what that's like, but I also wouldn't know what it's like to be the son of someone who works a 9 to 5 job in the city, right? Like that's just what we know. You guys know what you know. I know what I know. I don't really know it any different, so I don't see it any differently. If that makes sense. And since it's never been different, it's kind of just been that way, and I grew up with it, and I'm used to it now.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Obviously you've been bowling your whole life, doing pretty well at it. As far as like your youth career, what are some obviously some of your big accomplishments? Your Dexter All-American team. I kind of wasn't prepared for that one, but when is that page pulled up for you or no? Because I'm kind of unprepared.
It is not.
Just a couple off the top of my head. Dexter All-American team. Obviously, like you said, you're going to Wichita right now. 3 JBTs, 3 Pennsylvania. Were the like the PJBTs.
Yep.
7th place at Junior Gold in 2017, 25th in U18 last year. 3 Team Eagles for the Youth Open, which is a hard tournament to win.
Yeah, we went back to back to back. I think we won U12, and then we went up to U15, and then won 2 years in a row in U15. So
Who'd you bowl for those teams?
oh God. I think in 2015 it was me, Brandon, Jordan Malott, and Lucas Francis. In 2016, oh God, 2016. I don't think I bowled with Brandon because I think Brandon was still in U12, and I moved up to U15.
Yeah, because you're older than I am, and he's my age.
Yeah. Oh God, wow, I can't even think of this.
Was Alex on your guys' team?
I think Alex bowled with Brandon because in 2016 because
Oh yeah,
he's still a youth bowler. Like he's a year behind me. I think I bowled with Ryan Taylor 2 of the 3 years. I know Drew Sachs was on the team 1 of the years. Cam Hurwitz, I bowled with him once or twice in that 3-year run. I think Brandon Heiska as well. Those are all the names that sound familiar.
Well, guys, I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure they're amazing bowlers.
Yeah, Drew is at.
I know Drew. He's at Lindenwood.
Yeah, he's at Lindenwood. Brandon Heiska is up somewhere in Michigan. I met him through Bryce Oliver, and Ryan Taylor was a local bowler from back home that we bowled with now at Pikeville.
Okay. Yeah, so he's with Bryce at Pikeville.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 2017, is that who you guys bowled to?
We bowled, I think it was me, Cam, Ryan, and Brandon. But I think Drew couldn't bowl, or Drew aged up. Because Drew was at least a year
Cam
too.
Hurwitz, Brandon, and who else?
And Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some good times for sure.
That's a stacked team.
Yeah.
And then Team Masters, the JV division 2017. So you had a good 2017.
Yeah, 2017 was like my best year by far.
Yeah, it looks like it. And then
Everything clicked.
that's how crazy bowling is. Sometimes everything just clicks together.
Yeah.
I do want to take a note on Team Masters. Obviously, you're allowed 2 balls. It's a shot maker tournament. I've never bowled it because I'm not a shot maker. I would get wrecked. But just take us down. Obviously, you bowled it more than once. Take us down all about it.
I like the tournament. I like the format. It's a very unique format over the 5 days, a total pinfall format. It's not something we ever see as youth bowlers. It's something that we see on tour, but it's our only like real experience as to like a PBA format, right? We don't ever see it when we're bowling junior tournaments. It's very different from what we see at junior gold. The oil pattern combinations, the balls we get to use, it makes everything simple. And when I was one-handed, I was a big trick guy. I loved just tweaking my hand just a little bit and my ball roll would change. And that's what that tournament was all about. I mean, you're moving halves at that tournament, where now if you're not moving 4 or 5 every shot, you're behind the moves. I mean, the format's great, and it's a great way to get into shape for junior gold. I feel like for me, shooting spares for 42 games is just really good prep for the long week ahead at junior gold. And just keeping my angles in front of me, they're all the combinations add up to be just really, really enjoyable. And on top of it, you get to spend a whole week with your friends. So
Well, 2 whole weeks because after you got junior gold.
yeah, exactly.
So Blaine, you've been kind of quiet. You got anything else to add?
What I want to jump into, we'll get with whatever he was just leading on to, is spending some time with friends and everything. I'll get to that later down the road. But as far as right now, no, I'm just kind of chilling. I'm enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, so after that we got like the crew. How did that start? And take us down all of that. Obviously, like the videos, that's kind of like the next point. But I want to take a moment on the crew and how that all got started, because it seemed like it's a company, but also just like a group of guys or guys and girls. But it's awesome.
Yeah. So pretty much, I mean, when we started the YouTube channel, it was me and Alex were having a conversation, just probably shooting the shit in my room at 12 o'clock at night on some weekend during the summer. And we were just like, yo, we got to come up with something. And ideally wanted to be like The House, right? At the time, they were like the only other relevant YouTube channel, and kind of who I was trying to base off of, learn from, all that good stuff. And I mean, watching them and wanting to come up with something similar to them, I felt like the crew was the next way to go. We want it to be open. We want it to be whoever we're hanging out with. So like when we came up with the EYT, Bobby, you were part of the crew and become a part of the crew. It's not really anything exclusive. It's just the guys that we're hanging out with. We're going to try and have a couple of things here coming up soon where we can open that up a little bit with some more merchandise and stuff. But it's really just the guys we hang out with and the guys that we have a good time with. And it doesn't have to be me or Brandon or any of those guys in it. Bobby, if you're bowling a tournament and you want it to be your crew for the weekend, it's your crew for the weekend. I mean, we just kind of have a good time with it, and it's a fun name to throw around.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I was in South Carolina last couple weeks ago with Brandon and Carter, and like a lot of guys who typically aren't with you guys were there, especially because you and Alex and Mike, they're all at college, so it's almost like the next generation of the crew is upon us almost.
Yeah, it's just a wave. I mean, once you get in it, it's kind of hard to throw yourself out of it once you do something like
Stupid.
really, really stupid. But I mean, it's whoever we're with in that video. I mean, and even when we're not doing videos, I mean, just because I wasn't there, or Alex wasn't there, or Mike wasn't there, doesn't mean they're not in it anymore. Which is kind of the cool thing, and it can be interchanged. It can be, oh, you want to be in it this week? Sure, come on, like just tag along kind of thing. So it's always a good time, and that's what it's always meant to be.
So is all the crew merch, is that like up for sale on?
Not at the present moment. We're working on it. Trying to get some new designs up and all that good stuff. So we've got some things in the works, but nothing at the present moment.
Okay. Was that the point you were at, or were you a little bit down the road?
I was looking at that in the vlog together, and then now that you just mentioned merchandise, I wanted to just mention one other thing, because I remember I DM'd Justin at one point on Instagram not too long ago. I guess it's been about a year now. And I doubt he remembers it. But I shot him a DM one day, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I might need to invest in the Team Syrup shirt. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Team Syrup, baby.
Team Syrup.
That's it.
Well, that wasn't the extent of what the DM contained. It was a bunch of other stuff about like really enjoyed watching the channel. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. All that good talk. But I wanted to bring that back up again, because that was a fun debate, and I mean, I'm sure it's still going on throughout everyone that you guys travel around with. But it was fun whenever it first kind of came about. I was like, man, this is kind of different. Like, I don't know anybody that's thought about doing something like that. And it's like all the different opinions coming from it, and my opinion came into it, and I was like, man, I gotta try that. So like I just went and did it one time, and I was like, yeah, syrup's the way to go. Nutella's not the move on bacon. It's just not it.
Yeah, it was. We were just sitting at a table one night and just having conversations about like weird food combinations, like ketchup on mac and cheese and all this like whack job stuff. And like chocolate and bacon got brought up, and then Nutella and bacon got brought up, and then syrup and all that good stuff. And then the next day, Brandon went around and just started asking a couple people, and then it just became a thing. And that's how I think all things get started. You don't sit around and like, oh, like what's the next big thing? Like they just kind of happen, right? And that was just one of them. But that is the merch that we do have for sale right now. If anybody watching wants a Team Syrup or Team Nutella shirt, shoot me a message, let me know. $20 a piece, and we can get it out to you wherever you're at. Blaze, if you don't have one yet, let me know. We can talk after the show.
Yeah, I need to invest.
Yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, back when all you guys were here, I should have had my mom try, and should have got her on the vlog.
Dude, that would have been perfect at breakfast on Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Sunday, not a good idea. Saturday,
we could have done it. Sunday was way too early.
Hey, I'll give you props though. You did get Bomber. Bomber was the key.
Bomber was the star of the video.
Exactly.
We like Bomber.
Bombers. Yeah.
If Bomber wouldn't be crazy right now, I would definitely bring him up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little nuts at times.
For all the people who don't know, Bomber is my dog.
I was gonna say, have like the viewers like learned about your dog yet? Because that would be very weird if we were just talking about this guy named Bomber.
Oh yeah, well
in the wrong context, then get all of us in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want any of that.
No, absolutely not.
We don't need none of that.
Yeah, so we kind of already touched on it, but as far as like the vlog goes, how did that get started?
So I wanted to do it for a little bit. In high school, I had the opportunity to be a part of a super good film program, and over the course of my year in high school, I learned how to make videos. And doing a vlog had just been something like that I've been always been interested in, but never had like enough like oomph to like really get it going. And the vlog for Malaysia was my go. I told some people that I was going to do it, and that was kind of like, okay, I can't go back on my promise, so I have to go do it, right? And that was like the start of it. And then people loved it, and I was like, we got to keep doing this, and we just kept doing it, and it just kind of became a fun thing before it became like anything, before it became business, and it still is fun. Anytime we're filming, we always have a blast with it, and it just kept growing, and it's we don't have intentions of stopping just because we're all going to school.
No, I think it was awesome. Like I said at the last SYC, Haley, I think
Yeah,
Haley took over.
yeah, Haley and
Right.
Sydney took over the vlog, and I probably should have let just Sydney take over or somebody else take over, because Haley, when I got it, I mean, I had 500 or 600 videos. I mean, it was ridiculous to edit, and that's part of the reason it took me so long. But I had a little opportunity to make like a little extended cut out of it to show a little bit more about what goes on outside of the bowling center, and it turned out pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny seeing everybody play spike ball and the guys losing the bet again, and even Brandon breaking the 5-game record.
That was insane. I crossed like
Yeah.
a couple players next to him.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
yeah, he struck a bunch, and I'm not
Yeah.
surprised that he was playing the gutter when he did it.
It's like every game I looked over and he had the front seven. I'm like, yeah. And I was going to day 2. I'm like, well, it's a race for second place now. We're not catching them. Nobody's catching them.
Yeah, that's what he felt like when Spencer was still bowling him. It was like after day 1, it was just like, all right, we're trying to get to second now, or see how close we can get to first, because he's not going to let off the gas.
No. He was so dominant in SYCs. It was
Oh my God, I know.
so yeah, so as far as that and all the people, how do you guys get in touch with, like, get super close with people like Alex and Mike and all the people who are in the videos consistently, since a lot of you guys don't live that close to each other?
So me, Alex, Tommy, and Brandon, me and Brandon live in the same house. Alex and Tommy live pretty close to us. We bowl the same tournaments when we're back home. So we met through the tournament series that we bowl back home. James is another one, doesn't live too far away. He'd bowl some tournaments that we would bowl. Harrison, probably something with Brandon. I think it was the Mid-Atlantic team tournament in 2019 when it was in Maryland. I think they had a team together, and we met up somehow. Maybe Sydney met Harrison. SYC in Myrtle Beach, something like that.
He's a clown.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolute clown.
Love him though. Love him.
I crossed with him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Him and Ian.
Oh God, that had to be trouble.
Oh, it was fun.
They were having fun on the vlog too.
It was great. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mike, I think when he came up to bowl my dad's tournament, since he was the only one from Florida, he really didn't have a whole lot of people to hang out with. So we invited him over to the house one night, and it just that's how it all starts. You don't really ever remember how it all starts, but you just remember the memories you create after it starts. It's kind of how I see it. And we got a good group that we all gel with, and we all get along. And it's been a pretty good time, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how just like bowling in general, you just meet somebody out of the ordinary, just bowling tournaments, crossing together.
You just gel.
Yeah.
Just gel, and that's the end of the conversation. That's how the story gets started, and that's all she wrote.
And it doesn't really matter like your age either, because even Ian's
No,
like, he's still
exactly.
he just moved up to U18, so he's like a sophomore.
Yeah, I mean, he's 14 or 15, and I mean, he's hanging out with seniors in high school, right? And even me and Brandon, we were the same way. We moved up to scratch when we were 12 or 13, bowling scratch tournaments against seniors, juniors, sophomores, seniors in high school when we were 12. We were in middle school. So
Right.
like guys that have already graduated college now, we bowled tournaments against. Guys that are on tour, like we bowled tournaments against Matt Russo.
I'm
Now
sorry.
he's a PBA champion.
I'm sorry. I don't even want to try.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Martell's another one. We bowled tournaments against him. Adam Zimmerman, Alex Linsky down at SCAD. Angela Zarchik. And there are names that didn't go to college, that didn't create bowling careers, that were still so good when we bowled the tournaments back home. I mean, it was nuts. You ask any of the guys from the East Coast that bowled JBTs 5 years ago, they'll give you that answer of how hard it actually was.
Yeah, I bowled with Michael Martell because he went to college here in Chicago.
Yeah.
He so good.
Yeah.
And he's on tour.
Yeah, just think about bowling against like 10 or 15 of him at every junior tournament you bowl.
We had a good group here in Illinois too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah, no, I feel like between like Illinois and like the Midwest and then all you guys out east, it's like the best in the country.
Definitely.
They just somehow create good bowlers. When you're surrounded by good bowlers, you just create good bowlers. And
Texas creates good football players.
It must be the weather.
Exactly.
It must be the
I
weather.
don't know. Something's in the water or something. I don't know.
I think it's the weather or the good pizza because there's
that is
Chicago and out east. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There was definitely good pizza in the Northeast.
Oh yeah. And
I had Pizza Hut last night and it didn't compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, pizza in the Midwest it's not quite the same.
No.
Bobby, let's go ahead and jump into the college bowling segments. Why don't we? You have it pulled up, I believe, correct?
Yeah. So a couple episodes ago, we started doing this thing where we just check out the rankings, how everybody's doing. You going to Wichita, one of the best programs in the nation.
Yeah.
You guys won your first tournament, so we're just gonna look at top 25. We got St. Ambrose, Mount Mercy, McKendree, SCAD, Weber, Lindenwood, Marion, Pikeville, Oklahoma Christian, Whitewater, St. Xavier, Tennessee Southern, Iowa Western, Calumet, Midland, Marion, Wichita, St. Francis, Judson, Hastings, Newman, Kansas Wesleyan, Rock Valley, Cumberland's, and William Patterson.
Yeah.
Sounds like top 25.
Yeah, some of those names honestly aren't surprising, especially the names at the top.
No.
I mean, St. Ambrose finished second last year at ITCs. Mount Mercy's been a force to be reckoned with for a couple of years now. McKendree, SCAD, Weber, Lindenwood. I mean, all those teams, they're all really good.
I'm surprised how low Wichita is for how dominant you guys were last weekend.
I think part of that comes into the point system because we're the only team in the top 25, I think, that has one event in.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
If you scroll over to the right, we're the only team with one event. Our next tournament is coming up this weekend. We're bowling in Lawrence, Kansas, about 2 hours from home. Then we'll have the next weekend off, and then we'll bowl in the Leatherneck up in Davenport, Iowa, and then we'll bowl in Dallas the weekend before we go home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so if you don't know Justin, Blaine bowls for Lincoln College.
Okay.
It's a pretty small
We're
school.
new. That's the way I should say it is. It's
Okay.
only a third-year deal. We're starting to kind of go the right direction. I will say that. We're building on stuff that, we maybe knew we should have been doing the first 2 years and just never really implemented. But no, we're going the right direction, I think. And
every school's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. And
of course.
It's just kind of cool to to sit back and say like, hey, I was a part of the inaugural team. Whenever they started that way back when, I'm 50 or whatever it is down the road. It's like, yeah, I was part of that team. Back in my college days.
For sure.
But no, we're going the right direction. I mean, we're obviously we make improvements daily and weekly, or by tournaments, whatever you want to call it. So it's been a lot of fun, and not looking forward to having to bowl against you guys, though. I'll tell you that much.
It's all about growing in that process.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Always to the next level.
So after your first tournament, what have you learned so far as far as college bowling?
Oh my God, it's get left and get left fast.
Yep.
Oh my God. I mean, we started the day. I mean, we're starting at 7-8 at the Arrows, and before the day was over, I mean, my feet are starting on 61.
I don't even count when I get that far. I'm like, this looks about right.
The last match, my feet were starting on 61. I mean, there were times like when we're bowling the Baker matches and the first guy goes Brooklyn and we're like, all right, 8 left. And we're like, huh? Like,
Yep.
and that's just what you do. And sometimes you gotta move 2-3 boards every frame just to keep up. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. I noticed that right away too. Like, granted, I don't have as much experience as what you have, you know, with Parker being your dad and all that. But that was something I noticed right away, you know, getting into the college scene as well, was if you're not chasing it left and you're not chasing it left fast, you're probably not going to bowl very well. And when we went and bowled our first tournament in Indy a couple weekends ago, that was pretty much what I did. Was I was trying to just, you know, play straighter with, you know, how the guys were attacking them, and just wasn't looking very good. And after like 4 shots, I was like, no, I'm going to have to get left eventually. I'm just going to do it now and just chase it the rest of the day. And ultimately, that was the decision that got me to an ATT spot. So it worked out in my favor. So that's always good news. But yeah, touching on that, like if you're not getting left and you're not getting left quick, have fun. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that was like the one thing that I walked away from, was just how far left we got and how fast we did it. It didn't feel like it was very long before we were jumping that deep.
Mhm.
All the guests that we've had on said there's no like way to like kind of get ready. Is that like something that like you found, or is there anything that you can even compare to it?
Like tournaments that I've bowled.
Yeah, like in other youth tournaments that even compares to the environment and or just bowling in general, and that in the college scene.
I think USA bowling was probably the closest that we got. High school bowling a little bit. But if you, it's hard when you're in an atmosphere that doesn't have as many good high school teams. So if you're bowling against high school teams that, I mean, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys on some of the teams that are at our level that average over 200, but there are teams that their 4th and 5th bowler haven't picked up a bowling ball besides the first 3 weeks of practice, right?
Right.
When you put together some of these monster teams for USA bowling, then you get to nationals and you're bowling all these Baker games and match play and all that stuff. That's where it gets really exciting. And that's probably the closest that I feel that I got to it. Really good prep, for, if you will say. Another thing was that the Mid-Atlantic tournament, the God, what's it called? The US National Team Challenge at ran in Delaware this past summer. That's another one. Any team kind of competition stuff, you just have to know your role. Even if it's holding the clipboard or taking videos on the iPad, you have to know what your role is, and you have to know that it's going to be okay, whatever your role is, and just be the best that you can in that role. Be a supportive teammate.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That was actually the first time that I like even knew who James was, because we bowled against his team in the USA Bowling in Detroit.
Yeah.
I think we bowled Brandon's team in the qualifying, and then if we had would have won our match in the losers bracket, we would have bowled them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was always a fun tournament to bowl. It was USA Bowling. I wish that was a U18 thing. Or
yeah, I don't
thing.
I don't know why it's not, but however, I think it makes it that much like everybody's gonna bowl it because it's only U15 and U12.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit older. I thought about running a tournament out at Junior Gold that was for U18, but I obviously couldn't run it and bowl at the same time, and I wasn't going to let a tournament that big run at me not bowling it. So
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe it'll be on the bucket list for the future. I've got some ideas of some things that I want to do, some things I want to bring back, like having a World Youth Team Challenge. I think would be absolutely incredible.
that would be awesome.
I mean, we hear the stories all the time about the guys in the 90s and the 2000s that bowled these big team challenges and all that stuff, and how much fun they had doing them, and why'd they go away.
So, in the beginning, you said you went to Japan,
in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
How was the competition out there?
they all hook it a lot.
Really?
If I have one stereotype, they all know how to hook it. And if they don't know how to hook it, they throw it slow so they can get left. That's probably the girls are pretty much all about the same. Some of them wear the wrist brace, some of them don't, but they're pretty straight for the most part.
All down and in.
Yeah, which I mean is pretty common. I feel like, but there are a lot of guys that hooked it. The first couple of years, I felt like I couldn't ever get my ball to hook. And that was kind of part of the main reason I started bowling two-handed, was to try to just increase my rev rate so I could get that extra left. Because I think if you're on the right side of it instead of the left side of it, it can make the lane super challenging. Your ball's
Yeah,
in the wrong spot.
that's kind of a point that I glanced over just because you've been doing it for a little bit. But obviously you kind of touched on it, but how did that start and kind of why I started doing it and how it's been going so far?
Yeah, that was something that started about January 2018, so the beginning of the year. And it was very gradual. It was kind of just joking around, and then like, oh, this could get somewhere, but I'd only do it at a house shot tournament, and then became to where I could do it a little bit more when they were a little bit harder. And before I knew it, anytime I did it, I was scoring more. And I was like, well, once I figure out some more fundamentals to this and figure out how to do it the right way, sky's the limit. And then it got to a point where the weight hole rule came into play, which was not my friend.
Next question.
That was not my friend at all, because that was the main determining factor. Well, you either pick one, pick the other, or bring an arsenal for both. And to me, it just didn't make sense to do both, to go back and forth. It was almost like it was too many options, right? And not that having too many options is a bad thing, but
Can be.
I was good at throwing it hard one-handed, and I was good at playing the gutter. And those were my two favorite things to do. And whenever I had to get left, it was just put an extra hand on it. So now I really don't bowl one-handed anymore. I've been bowling primarily two-handed for about, it's been probably 14 months now. But I've been doing it for 2.5 years prior to that. So it wasn't like it was just like a snap finger kind of thing. But
So at Teen Masters this past year, you bowled both, right?
yeah, I'd actually been doing that for 3 years. I did it in Florida, in Virginia, and then in Detroit this year.
So since, like you said, you haven't bowled one-handed in a while, how was that like the first, like during the practice session, or how was it like?
So believe it or not, I hadn't bowled one-handed. I bowled like a couple of games in December one-handed just to try to get back into it before team trials. And then team trials was canceled, so it didn't happen, and then didn't pick it back up. I didn't shoot spares one-handed for 2 months before Team Masters. You bowled next to me in Louisville. I shot spares two-handed in Louisville.
Yeah, it did not look like you're having a fun time shooting spares.
No, I couldn't make a spare. And imagine taking all the oil off the lane. Now your ball's hooking when you shoot a spare. You had no chance.
I can't even.
So in the first 5 minutes of the practice session, I was like, well, I have to shoot my spares one-handed. I can't make it go straight enough. That was the big thing, because that's the only way you're gonna get somewhere in that tournament, is making spares. And I'd figured the short out enough to where I knew I could get by. And Dad was like, 5 minutes into the practice session, we had 15 minutes. And it was the second day, bowling along the day before. And he was like, try putting your thumb in it. I'm like, oh, okay.
What? Like what?
like I haven't done this, right? And my track was horrendous. I mean, like over the middle finger, right of the thumb, like as bad as it gets, right? And I couldn't do anything about it. But I was like, you know what? It's gonna work. And I was the only one that was actually playing the hold on the short pattern. Everybody else had to throw it to 1-2. They had no left, and I was the only one that had hold. And
yeah, I saw a video somewhere on Instagram where you're like throwing it over, like you're lofting a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also saw in the rules that you're not supposed to do that. So how did that work out? Were you getting any trouble or anything?
I didn't know. I think when it's like super excessive, it can get out of hand. But I really wasn't ever to the point where it was super excessive. Now, granted, it was far for some people, but it was never an issue that I ran into.
Yeah, that just seems like I don't understand why that rule's in place. I mean, I do because my family's in the industry. However, if it's gonna help you score, what's the issue?
That's right. That's why that rule's in place, because of like people that are involved in the industry and saving the lanes. Lanes aren't meant to throw them 15 feet down the lane or more.
This is true.
But for me, that little bit of extra air just did the right thing. And
Yeah.
the first block I bowled one-handed in 9 months, I went 140 over. And I was like, wow, okay, welcome back.
Yeah, I heard this past year they weren't super difficult.
No. In my honest opinion, they were very scoreable if you were playing them right, and they were very hard if you were playing them wrong.
So like most youth tournaments.
Yeah, but to an even more level, to an even higher level. I felt once you figured them out, the sooner you figured them out, the sooner it was just kind of like you're on cruise control. But if you didn't figure them out, they were hard. But it was all about making shots, and your shot making became pristine when you're throwing balls that don't hook at all, and you're bowling on 6, 7, 8 mils of oil.
Yeah. So do those balls at 6, 7 mils look like a urethane or like a reactive ball, or like are they just they just don't try to hook?
For me, the two-handed one looked pretty much like reactive. It didn't go super sideways on the back end, but it wasn't like it was like a plastic ball. The one-handed one looked like urethane. It just kind of hooked early and laid there for me. But granted, I was also rolling it over the fingers. So
Yeah. Whew.
That obviously helps dumb it down a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want your ball to go more forward, roll it over your finger holes.
Yeah.
It'll work every time.
Yeah.
That's how I started shooting spares when my spare ball started hooking. I'm like, yeah. If it's airborne, I can't hook.
Whatever works.
I remember Lake Michigan Cup, you were doing that. When we had practice up in DeKalb, you were hooking your spare ball. You're getting so mad at it, dude. It was funny. So.
Yeah. And like a week before that, I had a plastic ball that like had like my high school like logo and stuff on it. Haven't touched it. Had like a pitch from like 3 years ago. I took it out. I'm like, all right, let's see if I can even try and make spares, because I was gonna bowl Team Masters. I think the one in Florida. It was the last year that they had the 2.0 in the 3.0.
Yeah, I think that was
2.0. Like that was like the straightest plastic ball I can get to go straight. Like just didn't hook at all.
the 3.0.
No, the 2.0.
Oh my god!
I know Alex used the 3.0 for a while.
That 2.0 went straight. That was a very good bowling ball, believe it or not. For it being a plastic ball, that on the patterns that we bowled on, that ball saw it so good.
It was good until you put a track in it. Then the hooked a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I took out my other one. All right, let's see if I can just even try and make spares. And I left like back to back to back 10 pins and nailed them all and missed like 3 right and 3 left. I'm like, well, because I found a new spare ball. And just throwing it ever since.
That's like the sign.
No, my high school spare ball. The 2.0 just started to hook too much. I got another one from a buddy, and because he bowled it, and they just hooked.
Wow.
So, as long as we're talking about bowling balls, obviously, your family is on like the Brunswick staff. What are your favorite balls of all time? Someone you've been liking currently?
All time, I'd have to go with. There's probably about 3 of them. Between the Magnitude 055, the True Nirvana, and the original Verge. Had multiples of those balls. Those balls, whenever they were in my hand, I always matched up. Had confidence when I had them in my hands, and they never left the bag. Those were all the one-handed ones. Two-handed, obviously the purple.
Purple.
I mean, come on. If I'm not saying the purple, am I not two-handed?
No.
but the power torque has been very, very good in my hands very recently.
It looks good.
That's one of
Did,
the
just to not to interrupt you, but I'm
Okay.
just curious because I think you would know more than anybody. Do you think the power torque is like a beefed up melee cross, maybe?
I could see that a little bit. What some people from like that throw a multiple brands besides just one.
Mhm.
They're seeing it kind of like the phase 2, which is, I mean, the numbers on them are very comparable. So it's a good benchmark shape. And even it being as strong as it is for me, I can throw it on almost anything. I feel like that ball is one of the first in my bag.
It seems
Yeah,
like that with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I drilled the Obsession Tour like last week, and it's the only big ASIN ball I can get to actually corner downland.
Yeah, that was a really good one too. I have one of those at school here at school. I could probably bring that one back out. That one was very good. Believe it or not,
I mainly got it because it was like a similar cover to the Web Tour, and that's like one of my all time favorites. And
right?
after the Brunswick buyout, they discontinued all those balls. I'm like, well, it's another option.
Yeah, believe it or not, the Rhino, the entry level Rhino, right? Like the ball that you tell all the beginners to get. I strike a lot with that ball in there.
That ball's a sleeper ball. I have one at the house. It's a sleeper ball.
Oh
I
my
may
god,
have to get one.
dude,
They're good.
Bobby, if you bowl a lot of tournaments on house, you have to have that ball.
I just started high school, and I could use like a house shot ball.
There you go.
Get one. I mean,
Is there a certain color I need to get?
Yeah, I say, does color matter?
I have the purple one.
I do too.
Then get the purple one.
I mean the pro balls always strike more.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly.
Venom Shock.
Venom Shock.
Melee Jab, the
Shock.
original one.
Ooh, I never had one though. Can't.
That ball looks good. Tommy made it look good.
That ball was very good.
Tommy makes everything look good.
Yeah.
God.
Unlike me.
So I have my high series with the Rhino. I bowled a tournament when I first got to school, went 300 over for 8. Not that that's like a super crazy amount, but it was a
That's
decent
pretty good.
amount. Won a couple tournaments back home with it. Oh, dude, that ball struck a lot.
It's Rhino.
I know.
Is it like the purple, like silver and black one, or is it like the
Yep.
purple and pink one? Because I'm seeing them both.
Which one?
Actually, I'll just share my screen.
All right.
Yeah, make this easier on both of them. I have the purple and silver and black one.
No free brand deals. However, somebody has a brand deal.
Showing shopping for bowling balls real quick.
Why? Okay.
I mean, what are you doing, my guy?
Okay, I'm just doing this because. Is it this one?
Well, we can't see it.
Oh wait, you guys can't see it.
No.
Where'd it go?
We're on the 2021 and 2022 traditional average for all events and top players right now.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, wait. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There. Yeah.
It's that
So
one. It's
Yeah.
that one.
All right.
Yep. It's the one.
I'll have to get one.
Dude, you can get it at Rhino or at Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Pull back up. Share your screen again.
I may close out of it. Oh no, I didn't. Walmart right here.
You can
Walmart.
buy it at Walmart.
That is so funny. Is there any new balls you're really excited to throw?
I'm actually excited for the track heat, the new purple ball.
It is purple.
I have one of those on the way. I'm pretty excited for that.
I had the Heat Lava.
Okay.
I saw like all the whitewater guys throw it because I bowl a lot of tournaments with some of those guys.
Yeah.
And at least for me, for like a burn ball, it was super early. But when like they were very, very hard, that ball struck a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of like me with my tempo. It wasn't like it was
Similar shape.
It wasn't super early, but like it almost saw it twice. Like
Interesting.
how the purple sees it in the front the right way. To me, the balls that look really good see it twice. They see it the right way in the front when it goes from that skid to hook phase, and then when they go from that hook to roll phase. Just if it does the right combination of it, those are like the best balls.
So like obviously you're loyal to the Brunswick family. Have you seen any difference between like the older stuff and then since they brought out EBI?
Like
And have you drilled any of the older like EBI stuff?
no, the only older one that I drilled was purple.
So between the old and new Brunswick stuff, have you seen like any difference in the reaction or anything?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the balls have gotten better. And I think overall, it wasn't like there were times where we'd come out with a ball and just be like, okay, out of the 6 that I've drilled, 2 of them are good. Like 2 of them I'd put in my bag and the other 4 are just gonna go sit in the garage. And I didn't feel like that was the case. Like I tested a bunch of them when they came out, like the first like big batch in January or February when the acquisition happened. Like the
Those look like the redemption stuff, right?
yeah, the redemptions, the Omni, the proof, those balls. I tried all of them and none of them disappointed. And I was like, wow, this is pretty good considering that I could get all of them and like all of them. There were like 12 or 13 of them. I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah, when they got bought out, I drilled a Web Tour hybrid just because I was interested how that would roll.
Yep.
It's a little forward for me than like the Web Tour was, so I wasn't a total fan of it.
Right.
But I did like the Black Widow 2.0. That ball struck a lot.
You crushed Peoria with that ball.
Yeah, I bowled like our youth stay with it and had like 770 or in like 780 in the team event.
Wow. Yeah, that ball was good for a lot of people.
On sport, I haven't thrown it a whole lot just because I think it just sees it too early for me.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have any energy downline.
Yeah. I'm not a big like super asymmetric guy. I don't
Me neither.
like the only asymmetric ball that I have at school with me, I think, is the Obsession Tour.
Yeah. One of my friends threw it, and well, he is also a lefty, but he loved it. And his dad was like nagging me to get it. I'm like, all right, I finally got one. And like the first 3 games of the league with that, I had like 780, and then like it's just interesting how it's like the weaker ASIMs just kind of match up.
Yeah.
It's like me with the Rubicon from Rotogrip. Like I love my UC2.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but is that kind of the plan with the weight hole rules to bring out some of the weaker ASIMs?
Oh, I have no idea, to be honest.
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, because especially with the Storm 2-handed system now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it at all, if you've looked at it, but
So yeah, I actually learned a little bit about it. I am in the process of getting certified to drill bowling balls here at school.
Okay.
And we went up and we learned about all that. And it was pretty interesting, some of the stuff that we're talking about how taking the weight out of the core in certain spots and what it does and like the definition of pin up and pin down and why they do it. It was pretty neat, but we learned about the 2LS system and how it compares, and it was interesting what we were learning.
Yeah, so obviously your teammate Spencer Robarge, he's a great player himself. Has he done anything that, like you've been able to learn from? He is also lefty, but like as in like I know he's a big bowling ball guy. I've heard he has tons and tons.
Yeah,
he could like as far as like layouts or anything like that. You learn.
I haven't had too many conversations with him about that. I also haven't drilled a whole lot of balls since I've been here. It's mainly just been like the power torque. I just plugged up a raw hammer and a web pearl that I'm going to re-drill here either tomorrow or next week sometime. But we haven't really had too many of those conversations. We've had some on and off conversations about a whack job layout on some urethane balls, but besides that, not a whole lot. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested because my new purple, it's like Why throw the new one when you got a couple old ones?
Yeah. Yeah, the new one is, in my opinion, it's stronger. It's a little bit earlier and a little bit less down lane, but it's not like it's a lot different. It's not like it's the wannabe purples that other companies or other brands had tried to make and just weren't very successful in it. The new one is still, it's pretty darn close. I was impressed.
Yeah, I think because I have like low toes anyway, so I have no problem having my ball see the fronts.
Right.
And either I miss it off my hand and I get around just a touch and it never sees it, or I hit it a ton and it goes big four.
Hmm.
At least the old ones, they hook more down lane, so you can kind of miss a little bit
Yeah.
and it would kind of make up for it. I don't know what if like you've drilled the old and new one playing or and like anything that you've seen.
Yeah.
The old one I had was a 9, I think.
Say that again.
I think the old purple I had was a 9, like right before the
Okay.
whatever was going on and they got rid of it or whatever happened. But I think that was the one that I had. It might have been an 8. I don't really remember, but it wasn't a 6 or a 7. I know that much.
Yeah, the 6 and the 7. I think the 7s, the 2017 batches were like the best, but I don't think that they were too different. But there's definitely more of a difference between the new ones and the old ones.
Yeah.
I've thrown the new one, and I like it. I think when there's a little bit more score out there, the new one can do a lot more damage. Where the old one, when they're a little bit harder, that one comes a little bit more into play. I drilled mine a little bit different just to see a little bit different shape. I didn't want to personally compare them ball to ball. I wanted to make the new one see it a little bit more, just to have something different to where I could bring both of them and not have them different based on solely surface, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah, I think the one that I threw against Alex, the EYT, I think that was a 6.
okay.
Actually, I got that one. I traded a ball for it, and it had like 100 games on it when I got it.
Yeah, it blows my mind how many games people can put on the purple, and it still rolls good.
Shoot,
Yeah.
Bobby was left that day throwing his.
I think I was at 25 at the Euro Center today, and we were.
You can.
He was wheeling.
That ball. You can hook the whole lane with that ball.
Yeah, and I think we're going like 41 feet.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah, that was a fun weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
I think. Let me see if I can find it before, but I think the funniest thing during the weekend was when Parker hit that golf ball across
Oh my God.
the street.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I don't know if that was the funniest moment, but that was definitely up there.
I think the funniest moment I've seen on any of the vlog videos I've watched, and I haven't watched them all, I won't lie. But the ones that I've seen in recent memory was whenever Brandon just like obliterated his forehead with the cooking sheet or whatever. I thought that was just like pure money right there.
Yeah, that's got to be up there. There's been
like I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff that I haven't seen yet either that's gone on. So, but that's just the one that from recent memory for me.
There's been some pretty good stuff that we've done that's just been nuts.
It's just like clown stuff, like you
Exactly.
never expect.
You never know what's coming.
No.
I mean, like at Bobby's, we played foosball. Like,
oh yeah,
we hadn't played foosball before.
I think that is like a staple though, like either ping pong or foosball or both.
It's just
I gotta pull it up.
All right.
He's working on it. While you do that, I'm grabbing another water.
It's right here. I got it.
All right.
So for all you guys who didn't know, Justin, Alex, Parker, James, and Mike were all in my house for the Elite Tour Battle Royale Major. And we had a pretty fun weekend. We were clowns as usual. And it kind of fell into my lap. Like I kind of offered up to Alex because I know he was just kind of curious about the bigger events that were in the area. I should probably turn the sound on or sound off.
It don't matter.
Pick one.
What do you think?
Hey, you can have it on.
All right.
Yeah, that'll work.
We got no cat.
Oh, good times, good times.
Just smacking a golf ball across the street casually.
Oh, that was.
I just thought it was funny how quickly the car came by right afterwards. Like I initially thought he's like just pulled the hell out of it and hit the car.
No. That was probably just a little bit of editing magic.
I was on lookout. I'm like, well, you better go now because we got cars coming in both ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was enough in the clear that he wasn't gonna hit one.
Yeah, no, he hit it hard.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, so as far as like your favorite videos, there were one that like you'd either like to watch back on or just love making.
I like the SYC Orlando one. That one kind of pops up.
Where Mike won.
Yeah.
That was where Team Syrup kind of where everybody
that
Orlando
one,
and everybody.
Myrtle Beach last year was a really good one.
That was a funny video to watch too.
The Malaysia vlog is just always gonna have a special place because it was the first one. God, dude, how many vlogs do you think that we've made?
Ooh, rough guess.
Jack, I'll share my screen again.
No, you're supposed to guess, Bobby. Come on, man.
You're supposed to guess. Come on.
Oh, we're supposed to guess. Okay.
It's I don't know.
Oh. Well,
Like I feel like saying just 100 is too low.
No, I'm gonna say like 35.
100's a lot, but 35 is not there.
So we're somewhere in the
It was
middle
less
of
than that.
that.
It was less or
Also,
more.
also Team Masters Week last year.
Was 6, right?
Yeah, that was a very fun week.
Yeah, that looked pretty fun.
Also, like the OG like Morrisville Lanes like sweeper vlogs were very good videos. Like Alec when we cut Alex's hair.
Oh,
I should have asked him about that.
What?
I should have asked him about that when you guys were here. How did that go down?
Yeah, that was fun.
So it was a deal where whoever lost in the championship or like whoever finished last with them.
I think it was no. So Alex, the 4 events that the 4 sweepers that had ran, I think he had bowled for the title on all 4 of them, and he was way overdue for a haircut, and we all were at that time. But we were like, hey, what do you think of this? And we were like, if you don't bowl for the title, we get to cut your hair. He was like, sure. So he ended up not bowling for the title. He ended up bowling Brandon before the title match, and Brandon beat him. And we went home and we cut his hair.
That's hilarious. So how many vlogs is it?
It's a little. I think it's 81 or 82 now.
I was gonna say 75. That was my next guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gee, that's a lot.
Yeah. When you think about it, we've only been. I mean, our first one was January of last year.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
So 2 months.
I think my favorite one, obviously, like the 2 that I were in were pretty fun just because like all you guys were here and actually got to like see like what goes on. But my favorite one is the trios event that you guys bowled. Where it was like Anthony Nair.
Oh, Tommy makes sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
That one was so funny. Is that where like the 6 like started?
Yep. That was
so
exactly where it started. Well, it had been like a small thing before it, but then it just became so much bigger after that video. Like they were like, we need to make this a sound effect. I was like, okay. And then it's just become that.
But I like that actually. I do. So we went to our college tournament in Indy, and we kind of have.
It's a trend now. It's a trend,
It
like
is.
amongst everywhere.
Someone definitely left a big 4, and like I yelled it out, and my team looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, well, I know the meaning of it, like where it came from, or who does it, whatever. But so we have a different thing with our team because buddy of mine, he needed a plastic spare ball, and I just so happened to have an extra one that I wasn't using anymore, and it was the Diamond Columbia 300 white dot. So it's just like pure white. It's like a cloud almost kind of thing.
Yeah.
Long story short, he gets that ball for him. And the first spare that he shot at, I didn't tell him we were going to do this. The first spare he shot at, I turned around to all the guys as he's like about to start going. I was like, look, when he throws this ball, we're yelling 4 at the top of our lungs. It's white like a golf ball. And they all looked at me like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. It's like, come on. As soon as he lets it go, we all yell, and he chops like the 6 off the 10 in the big 4 or whatever. And he turns around, he's like, you mother, you know what, you assholes. Like, what? It was funny, wasn't it? He goes, yeah, it was pretty good. And like the rest of the weekend, it was just that way. Anytime he picked up a spare ball, 4. It was great.
God, that's
That's like my version of the 6 count is we say 4 for him.
I think that's just like a universal thing though.
Yeah, I'd seen people at the college tournament we bowled. When someone got 4 in a row, they'd yell 4, and the guy on the approach would turn around and get like by the ball return or something, and like do a golf swing. Yeah,
That's good. I like that.
I like that one. That one was cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
But there's a couple other ones that I like that I can't talk about, in this setting because, little ears.
We all have those moments. We all understand.
Yeah. If you stick around a little bit afterwards, I'll try and remember them and drop them off to you for maybe you guys can implement them for you guys.
Time wise, what are we at? Are we good on time?
Oh yeah, we're plenty good.
Perfect.
I mean, this is kind of what I figured was going to happen. We're going to get through most of the agenda, get down to the extra part, and just kind of BS.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
Kind of
that's just how it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Oh yeah. So you were part of like the mixed mob thing, right? So like, what exactly was that?
I have no idea.
The crew, right?
I have no idea. I think that was kind of similar to the crew, like when Strike Bros was a thing and all that, like these teams that people wanted to create, and it was kind of like the crew.
Absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I think it was just like a hashtag that somebody wanted to start up. I know it was started between Tyrell Ingles and Charles Bostic. You'd ask them, you'd know a little bit more, but I couldn't tell you what it was any differently than the crew.
Because I know Mabel was part of it, and she's from Illinois, so we saw her week in, week out.
Right.
And she'd be repping the jersey every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't bowl very good in that jersey. That jersey stayed at home.
Yeah, that's
my SST
crazy
champion
like,
jersey.
Some outfits you just won't wear just because last time I did that I missed a cut.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just jerseys that like I know I always bowl bad in, but then there's jerseys that I very superstitiously like to wear on the finals day.
Yep.
Well, there's jerseys that like you win a lot in. Like I got those like.
Yeah, there's a jersey that I have that I'm not really supposed to wear anymore, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And I can't wear it.
Is there a reason why?
Just Dad doesn't want us wearing it because of the deal we have with Iron Bowling.
Okay.
It was made from a company overseas from Malaysia, and man, I freaking loved that jersey.
Yeah, that must have been so cool going overseas to bowl tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you want to make a vacation out of it, go make a vacation out of it, and then just happen to go bowl a tournament at the same time. Don't go over to just go bowl a tournament. But if you want to, I actually just gave a speech on it. We had to like talk about like why something is good, great, or the best. And I talked about how the hotel was a great family international travel destination. It was
So it kind of take us down that path. Like how Like, how was the whole culture and everything over in Malaysia
It was
compared to like the States?
it was very unique to experience everything. And people always say that you don't really get to experience it until you go outside on the streets, on the markets, and really experience like what downtown life is like. And there was all the memories and all that good stuff. It's not stuff that you can create just sitting here. You have to go do it.
Right.
And that's something that I'm really looking forward to being able to do, hopefully in the future. Is making more memories like that preferably with the boys.
Yes.
We've already marked so many places off on the country together. I hope that list continues to grow and continues to grow around the world. But back to the question, one of the main things that stuck out in my head was the high fives. So like, I personally, I don't want someone to put their hand out and give me a high five if I miss a spare. I vividly remember somebody going 6-0 and I'm sitting in my chair and he walks over to me and goes like this and like to like high five me down. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, that's how they do that. That's like the one thing that vividly stuck out.
Yeah, that's just like something that's always fascinated me, like going like to other countries. Yet I've only been to Canada, but like something I want to do, like travel overseas and just kind of experience other cultures.
Yeah, I just saw a TikTok about a cruise. It's a 9-month cruise, and you visit all 7 continents.
All 7 continents?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
You visit like all the wonders like in the world. It like starts in Miami and it goes around the whole world.
That sounds fun, but also very expensive.
Yeah, it was like 61 grand at the minimum.
Like I don't think I'd like cruises to begin with, yet for 9 months.
Nah, I've gone on one, and 1 week was definitely good enough.
Yeah, like especially with everything that happened with COVID and people got stranded on cruise ships, I just not for me.
Like I'd do it again, don't get me wrong. Like I like the experience of just being all in the same place together and like the people that you go with, because that's more what it's about. It's not about what's on the boat, it's about the people that you go with. And I think there's other places that you can go that don't have to be a cruise that you could stand for more than a week, not 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be very intrigued to see how that actually, like how many people actually do that.
You know, like one of my
Like go on
biggest
actually go on a
fears-
9-month cruise.
Yeah.
You're taking your whole salary for a year.
I was gonna say, how can you take out work for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, it would be something
That'd be a deal. Like you have to be financially independent, and money is irrelevant at that point.
Right.
Well, there's one thing that I've like also considered. It's like if you get off and they're leaving, they're not gonna wait. Like, see you later, and you're stranded in Antarctica or wherever on this.
Yeah, you could be stranded in middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I'd rather go to some other places.
I choose life.
I'd just rather plane hop
Yeah,
or backpack.
right. Yeah, if like I'm gonna be stranded, I might as well be in somewhere where I can go anywhere else
Mhm.
on my own. Like,
I will tell you this. If you're going to these places and you know somebody there or get in contact with somebody that lives over there that knows like that you're coming. Now, granted, I know we all don't have connections that we know people on every continent. But if you are going with people that hopefully know someone over there that can get you set up to do things that you get to experience over there specifically, like going to pet monkeys or going to ride elephants or whatever,
that sounds cool.
like doing stuff like that, you have to know certain people because you're not going to know where those places are.
Right.
So if you know somebody that's either been there or knows somebody that can hook you up, very beneficial to have those connections.
So kind of brings back to the bowling side of things. who's like one of the coolest people you met outside the country that had actually not really like if they have done these things with you guys or something kind of like that.
Say it again.
So like somebody out of the country who is there somebody that has done that with you guys that you've met through bowling?
That like has
That's either been overseas that like you've got to visit, or like who's the coolest person overseas that you've met through bowling?
so yeah, we've met a couple of people over there. Some kids from Team Singapore, some kids from Team Malaysia, some kids that just bowl locally in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, the city that we bowled in. There was one of the guys that bowled for Team Malaysia that we had met in 2018, bowled the World Championships when it was at Thunderbolt. We had been on the road, and I was hoping to make the 11 or 12 hour drive just to go see him, because obviously 11 or 12 hours in a car is a lot closer than 11 or 12 hours on a plane plus another 8. But it's very, very unique meeting those people. I don't know that if I throw out names that they'd be recognizable. Ton Hakem might be the closest one because he came over. There were a couple of guys from Team Malaysia that came over and bowled a couple of summer tour events, 2019 or 2018.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of them.
But besides that, not guys you'd recognize unless you've been pointed at, unless they had been pointed out to you.
Okay. Pretty cool. Well, we should probably start wrapping this up then.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's cool to kind of get, a different perspective, especially coming, from a guy like you, Justin, that's seen and been and done, a whole bunch of stuff in your short amount of lifetime so far. And the future's only going to enlighten you to more, as you keep getting more in depth with the sport itself and meet new people and all that good stuff. But like Bobby said, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. So, I mean, is there any last thank yous or anything like that you need to go through? Sponsors, anything?
First off, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Be sure and check these guys out. I don't know how often they do their show, but be sure and keep watching it.
Like once a week.
This is a blast of a conversation to have. And I look forward to coming back. Go out and support your local bowling centers. Go out and go bowling. Going bowling is the reason that we're all here watching tonight. And it's the reason that we all continue to do what we love. Go out, grab your friends, go bowling. Grab your school friends, grab a girlfriend, grab a boyfriend, go have some fun, go bowling. That's what I tell everyone. Go support your local bowling businesses. And if you haven't already, go check out my YouTube channel, just my name, Justin Bohn. Very easy. We do vlogs where we travel all over the country together, and we have an absolute blast. We talked about it on the show. Go check it out. It's an absolute blast. Besides that, I think you guys got it from here.
So I want to do one other thing, and this is what I want to do for the outro on this one, because Justin, you guys brought in the intro to one of your videos. You did like the Disney Channel thing or whatever. So I want you to do the honor of taking us out with a Disney Channel presentation for the Bowling with Double B. Oh, we got a high five first. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Here we go. We got this. Oh, I lost my hand. God, where'd my hand go? There we go. Boom. Perfect.
I hope we got it.
Yeah, we're good. We didn't forget it at least. But anyway,
I thought that was it.
What's that?
So I thought like the high five was the outro.
Oh, well, I mean, we could do. Nah, come on. We gotta let Justin do his thing. But just give us the best version of the Disney Channel, like outro, whatever you want to call it, for the Bowling with Double B show.
Okay. All right. I'm Justin Bohn. I'm here with Bobby and Blaze, and you're watching the Bowling with Double B show on YouTube.
YouTube.
Dude. All right.
See you guys.
Watching.